Hi everyone, it's time for Pilates again. So we're doing the intermediate class today. We're going to start by laying onto your back right into your upper ab curl. So have a seat and then you can extend the arms forward, roll your spine down, hands to the legs or free. We're right back into your upper ab curl. Head is lifted, gaze right down the midline of your body. Fold the legs into your chest, pushing up with the shins into your arms. And then let's extend the arms forward, extend the legs out long to your working level. Start pumping the arms at your side, inhaling, and then exhaling here. It's a steady pulse of the arms, pushing the air down, pushing the air up. You're going to think of the collarbone staying wide so that the shoulder blades fall behind you. No hiking the shoulders up to the ears. The shoulders are not going to lift you here. It's your upper abdominals and the whole line really from your jaw to your tail pulling together that'll lift you into this position here off the mat with your head and your upper back. The legs lengthen out. You be a little bit conservative as you start warming up. And then as you start to feel stronger, more energized, you can take the legs lower if you wish. Keeping them high is fine. Also folding them into your body is also fine. Wherever you are for right now, it works perfectly. For me, if it works perfectly for you. Let's just go for one more breath. Press the legs into each other. Feel the low belly knit together. And then let's start to lay yourself down. Stretch the arms behind you and the legs forward for your roll up. So we lift the arms, head, neck, and shoulders coming up, diving off the mat. Take a bow. Your head leads you forward. You curve your waist back as you stretch your head and arms forward. Feel that stretch in the hamstrings, in the low back. Actually, anywhere you're tight in the back line of your body, and then roll your spine down. The arms reach back to stretch out the front of your body here. And then we lift again, coming off the ground. Use the exhale right before you pick up the rib cage. That's when you need the work. Try to push your heels into the floor and stretch them away from you. And then you dig the heels down. It's like they're the anchors in the sand in at the bottom of the river. And you pull yourself away from the anchor, come all the way down and yawn your body open here to the sun above you. And we lift again. The head comes up, the neck is long, so the shoulders are falling backwards, not up by your ears. Feel the blades as you dive forward, separating away from your spine and drifting down around towards the front of your chest. And then take it back again. Press the legs forward. If you have trouble keeping the heels down, which is really common when you first start this work, you can always add a pair of ankle weights to your feet or ankles, and then lifting to come up. Bend your spine forward. Also remember, you can always be doing this with a TheraBand or some kind of a strap so that you've got more support for the weight of your torso. That will also help you keep your legs down if they've been lifting. And then we'll circle the arms around and get ready for the single leg circles. So first, just pull the right knee into your chest, give it a little hug here. And we'll do some knee stirs, just circle a couple of times with the leg in one direction. And then reverse the circles. This warms up the hip joint for what's to come. And then extend that leg up to the ceiling with or without the TheraBand. Soft point through the foot, feel the stretch in the back of your leg. And inhale, cross the leg over and then circle down, out to the side, around and lift. The leg has a little internal rotation as it crosses. It's neutral at the bottom. Externally rotate as it reaches it away. Short inhale and a long exhale so the belly pulls deep and down, giving you a little more support to hold your body steady on the ground against the movement and weight and length of your leg. And one last one. We're going to complete the circle at the top, reaching up to the center of the sole of the foot, not just the toes, and then reach out to the side, reversing the direction. Remember, anticipate the weight of your leg. So I'm pushing down through the left side before the leg moves right, down through the right side before the leg moves left. Stretching out here long through the foot along the mat here in front of you. The standing leg is what we call the one along the floor. And then the working leg is the one that's circling. Let's go one more circle here. Reach and pull it around and lift it. And then let's take the leg out to the side. If you're not holding a TheraBand, you can just hold the leg with your hand, prop it up from the elbow, like a kickstand here, and maybe rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. Exhale to pick the leg up to the ceiling. As you cross it over, the left hand holds the back of the right thigh. You can extend the right arm, look out at your fingertips, shoulder down, and rotate the thigh internally to get more stretch across the hip, the outer thigh, and into the low back. Exhale, we pull the hip down to lift that leg up to the ceiling. And then we can fold the knee into your chest again, pull it tight, stretch it down next to the other leg. Feel the difference. This leg, the leg we just worked, the right one, should feel longer, more relaxed, closer to the ground. And then we pull the left leg into your chest now. So hold it in tight, release it a little bit, and you can circle, stir the leg, one or both hands on the knee, just draw circles here with the thigh moving in the socket, and then reverse the circle, trying to hold the body stable here on the ground. You're not only releasing the joint, you're also organizing your body ahead of time to keep the torso still while you're moving your leg. Extend the leg up to the ceiling. And we're taking that left leg across to begin. Inhale over and exhale low, out to the side, and then lift it up to the ceiling. So it's short inhale and a long exhale. You would end the exhale at the top of the movement, and then you're happy to breathe again, pulling that air deep into your lungs. Keep reaching out through the foot. If you were drawing a circle in the air, that circle would be spiraling further and further from your hip with every breath, with every repetition. And now reverse the circle. You can go wide as long as you don't rock the pelvis or rock the torso off the ground. Reach out, go low, drag it over, lift it up. 2 more. Again, you could have been doing this with a TheraBand on the foot and your hands holding the band. Sometimes if you're feeling stiff, that's just a nice way to do the exercise. And then we're going to fold that knee into your body, pull it tight. And let's just test it, stretch it next to the other one. Notice the difference you caused already just with a couple of exercises. This one in particular has dropped the belly deep into your back and given you more length and ease in your legs. So now we're going to come up floor rolling like a ball. So you can pull one leg into your chest, pull the other leg up to the ceiling, rock forward and up, and sit near the front of your mat, reaching your hands around to the front of your shins. Remember, easier would be to your thighs. Pull the elbows wide and forward, suck the belly back into your spinal curve. And we inhale to lift the tail, rolling to the shoulders only. Exhale to come forward to that balance point. Try to roll in a straight line down the mat and a straight line back up. If you tend to have a really arched back or a really flat back, and when you fall back, you don't feel this part of your spine, the lumbar curve, press into the ground, you can always take a towel and just place it across that part of the mat where that arch or where that flat spot would be to give yourself a little cushioning. If you don't, if you feel that there's like a smacking noise when you go down, you'll tense up in anticipation of that. So it's better to smooth it out by giving yourself more padding there if necessary. One more to lift up. And now into the ab series. Right leg in, right hand to the ankle, left hand below the knee on the shin. Roll back slowly, stretching the left leg out and pulling the right leg in tight. We inhale to switch the legs and exhale to switch again. It's always your outside hand on the ankle, so left hand to left ankle and then right hand to right ankle. The gaze is always right down your midline, down towards the navel, so that you keep your chin tucked in towards your chest and you're not overworking the neck by throwing the head back as you look up. And here, let's pull both legs in, one hand to each shin, double leg stretch. Arms and legs lift, the legs are together, the arms are apart. Circle wide, embrace the air and pull the legs in. Lift the elbows, push down with your arms, and you stretch again. You go right out to whatever angle works for you without flattening your body. So watch the arms don't go back so far that you come out of your upper up curl, but be sure that you take the arms far enough that you feel the additional work right under your chest. You want to activate those oblique abdominals. One more. And of course, press down with your hands and up with your legs. Now for scissors, right leg up and left leg forward, arms as straight as can be. And we inhale to switch the legs and switch again. It's a scissor switch with your legs. Legs slide directly in front of the hip socket and stay in the same plane as they lift. Moving them smoothly through the air. Imagine cutting the air like your legs are knives and the knife blade cuts nice and sharply through the air. Let's bring both legs up, hands behind the head. Pull the head up, elbows down and in. Double leg lower lift. You push the legs out and away. And then exhale and lift them here. This again could be done with a TheraBand to give you a little bit more range so that you can go further with the legs and not get into your back. That can be a good variation to try. And we'll just do one last one here. Push it away and then pull it back. And now for elbow to knee, And still here, you twist to the right, you come up and twist to the left, elbows wide. Now notice we're not just pulling the elbow to touch the knee, because what that does, if I do it like that, it actually would give me more work in like folding at the shoulder and not as much work in the obliques. So holding the elbows back a little bit and trying to pick the chest up towards the inner knee is really what we're trying to do. We're gonna do this one more time and twist to the left, and then come back to center, lay it down, and stretch the legs forward and the arms out behind you, rolling up to transition to spine stretch. Lift the arms, lift the head, exhale, pull yourself up. You can open the legs and come upright. And then extend the arms forward parallel to the ground. Push lightly down with the arms, going up through the halo, and then look down. Exhale all the way forward. That leads you out over in a curve, pulling the waist back, bending the spine forward, and then we'll press down through the legs as we articulate the spine up, stack and lift, and look down again. Let's start with a nod, and then move the head to move the neck, and then move the shoulders. Be sure you don't just start from the shoulders, the back of the rib cage, or even the low back. We want to work up the spine from the bottom to the top, but then also find that sequencing from the top to the bottom on the way down. It's a long exhale and a deep one. Keep that going until you're all the way over and down. And then press down through your heels, your sits bones, your tail as you come up, stacking the spine, lifting it, shoulders settle. And one more time. Also, I'm carrying the arms forward. I'm lengthening through the fingers, but I'm not reaching to shrug the shoulders up by my ears, because then I'd have to pull them back down again. I might get into a bit of a tug of war and put more tension into the body. Just stay here and hold your legs wherever you can. Feel that stretch if you want. Flex the feet at the ankles and feel more stretch into your calf and the back of the thigh, the hamstrings. Now from here, we're going to scooch forward into a frog position, heels together, knees apart, and take the hands to the inside of the legs. Rock back now for your open leg balance and then rocker. So the right leg extends first, stretch it up, and then bring it back down, and then the left leg. Your gaze is just slightly down from the horizon here. Reach the leg up, feel that stretch. And now for the left, remember the shoulder blade stays relaxed and down your back, even as the arm and the leg lift. And now for both legs, they both go up. Make them a little narrow. There'll be a tendency to take them wide. Try to pull the legs only the width of your shoulders. As you bring them up, the hands may rotate a little bit around towards the back of the calf here, and then around to the top. Let's lift and get ready to roll. So open leg rocker. You look down at your navel here, lift the tail to roll back to your shoulders. Exhale to come forward to your balance point. And you're looking down again. Hands more to the outside of the calf and behind them. Hold where you have some support. Eventually, you might try to flex the feet and reach for the toes to roll. I can manage it going back, but not coming forward, though I would like to. So that's another way to play with it and advance your exercise. One more time. And then let's bring the legs together. Either slide your hands down your legs or reach the arms free and work your body down, keeping the legs in the air. And then when you're down, you lift the legs vertically. You could use a TheraBand here around your feet also for our corkscrew. So we circle the legs over to the right and exhale a little low around to the left, back to the top to center. And again, reversing the direction, left, forward, right, and lift. The arms at your side, pushing down into the ground to help you stabilize your body against the movement of your legs. And then if you wish, after we complete this one, going left to right, we can try doing a little bit of rotation here through the hips. So we start when you first learn this exercise, keeping the pelvis heavy and level here on the ground. And then as you advance it, you would take the legs over, tip the left hip up a little as the legs move to the right, come back across through center as the legs go forward. Now rotate slightly. The ribs are still down. The right hip will lift as the legs go to the left and come back to center. And as you do this, you go slowly. So you're not just flinging your legs around in the air, but you're actually feeling that you're leading them around and shifting the work in your core to help you move the hips to move the legs. You should feel that is really intense in the oblique abdominals, and you'll definitely feel the massage as you lift one half of the pelvis up and then draw it back down. And then we do the same thing going the other direction. The right hip lifts as we take the legs to the left. And then let's start to press the right hip down and pick the left hip up to bring the legs over to the right. Good. Let's complete here at the top and then fold the legs in. We're rolling forward and up for saw. In that particular exercise, if you go fast, sometimes you just lose the whole point of it, right? So extend the arms out, reach here, be sure you have length and enough space to stretch, and then we'll rotate to the right, bring the left hand across to the outside of the leg, the right arm reaches long and out behind you. Pick up that shoulder and reach it back across your spine and feel that extra rotation through the chest. Coming up, center, and then spin to the left. Right hand stretches out along the leg, left arm reaches long and out. Now again, pick up your left shoulder and push it behind you. Feel the blade move towards the spine and towards the other blade. Look back until you'd love to be able to see your fingertips there. And coming up, center. Remember, in order to sit up tall through center, you might have to bend your knees or elevate your hips. At this point, you should probably know sort of automatically what modifications you might need to get the best work out of your body. You're reaching your head down, but it's not aimed at your knees. Like this isn't just like a tilt and a forward fold. You're spiraling the whole spine from the tail all the way up to the head for saw. And let's do one more set. And if you really push your hand into the forward leg and bring the other arm up and back, you'll feel this opening in your chest. That'll be really helpful to get your pecs more open and take tension out of your neck. So reaching here, getting that twist through your waistline, all the way through your spine. My clients who golf love this exercise. All that rotation is really good for that sport and a lot of others too. Now let's bring the legs back together and we're going over onto your stomach here for swan. I can actually show you today, if you have a roller, it's really fun to do a roller or a small ball in front of you for this exercise. So you can extend your arms out over the roller. Just be sure the roller is halfway between your elbow and your wrist. And then as you lay on your stomach, the legs are reaching back, soft point, the ears between the arms. First, widen the collarbones, start to pull the blades down your back, and you lift up. And then bring yourself down, the gaze still up as you work your spine down. And let's do that again. Engage your lats here. The blades are pulling together and down your spine. You should feel a stretch in the abdominal wall. And then release it down. And of course, if you don't have any of those toys, you can just have your hands here by your armpit. Pull the eyes forward, the chest forward, the elbows back and in to lift up. And then bring it back down. Onto your forearms for single leg kick. So push down with your arms, pull forward and up at the chest, kick the right heel in 1, 2, and then down, and now the left, pulse 1, 2, and down, now the right. Every beat gives you a little stretch in your quad. And one of the goals here is to keep the pelvis really heavy and pressing into the mat beneath your body. That will ensure that you open up your main hip flexor, your psoas, stretches here with this. Sometimes people have to put a little padding here across the hip joint in order to stay pressing into the ground if they're really super tight in their hips. But gradually this work will open you up. And let's do one more set. And then go ahead and lay down, turning your head to the right, double leg kick, overlap your hands, drop your elbows. Take a deep breath in, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, 3 kicks, both legs, pulse 1, 2, 3, push your feet into the ground. Reach the arms back, the palms can be in or up, or the thumbs can interlock if you can keep the wrist and the hands straight. And then go down, looking to the left. And again, 3 beats. Pump the air out of your lungs. Bring the arms back, you reach up, you stretch, and then bring it down. And again, kick, and 2 and 3. Press down into your feet. Keep them down as you rise. Sometimes I know if you've done a lot of yoga and you think it's like locust, I believe, is that exercise, where when you go up with your chest, you're also lifting the legs. In this version of the Pilates version, we keep the legs down. And then bring it down, sit back in a child's pose, round your back and curve it. Stack your spine bottom to top, and we come up for neck pull. This one can be tricky for your backs. It's the harder version of your roll up. So feet are flexed and apart. That makes it harder because you're not connecting the inside line of your legs. And then we take our hands at the base of the skull, pull the head up, elbows up, shoulders drop, and then lean back, tuck and roll your body down into the ground, and then come up. Eventually the hands stay behind the head. For now, you can push fist into hand, pull yourself up as soon as possible, hands behind the skull, pull it long, so stretch your neck, not pushing the head down, but reaching it forward out through the halo between your toes. Enjoy the stretch in your back, and then come all the way up, stacking from the bottom to the top of your spine. And we lean it back again. Before it gets dangerous, you curl the tail up and you roll your spine out and down. And then lifting again, push hand to hand, dive over, curve over, lift the belly into the curve of your back, rounding over. This is one of the hardest exercises in the level 3, the intermediate Pilates work. So, if it takes you time to get here into this, no worries, you will eventually. But always feel free to use a strap or some other way to modify any exercise if you're still working on building the strength and the flexibility for it. I know there's some people who feel like that's cheating, but in fact, it's really cheating if you just muscle through the exercises and don't work them appropriately and carefully getting the engagement you're looking for. Let me get rid of this roller. We're going to lay down on our backs next for shoulder bridge. So you fold the legs in, knees are bent, arms lengthen here at your side. And now begin with the pelvic tuck. You curve the tail up, you press the waist down. The heels dig in and pull back underneath you. As you rise, the knees go forward. At the very top of the plank, you're going to push the top of the shoulders down, roll slightly to the outer arm, feel your blades pull together to lift your chest up, and then give yourself a little extra boost with your glutes, opening your hips to the ceiling. And then roll slightly to the inner arm, slightly curve the top of the shoulders off the ground. Try to round your upper back into the floor, then your lower ribs, your waist, your hips, your sacrum, and finally the tail. When the tail settles down, the waist is floating up. And then we rock the pelvis again to start the movement up at the spine. Coming forward and up, you're going to snake that body off the ground. Come all the way up, your gaze is up and slightly back. Keep your neck as long as possible because you are lifting your chest up towards your chin a little bit. So if you're looking down at your body, you're going to find it's a little harder to breathe and that you're going to feel very compressed in the throat. Take it down 1 inch at a time. Now, the next time we lift, we're going to do some marching to kind of strengthen that back line of our body here. So we're going all the way up. Press the arms actually down, hands, triceps, and pick the right knee up, lift the foot, and exhale, lower it down. It goes right back where it was. The mat should still be warm, and you lift the left knee up and lower it down. Try to think of the right pelvic half cantilevered off the left when you lift the right knee. Press down, engage both glutes again, level off the pelvis before you lift the left leg, and bring it down. Roll through the foot, stand into the ground, push it down to lift the hip up, and we'll do just this one final set. Right leg down, left leg up. Bring it down, lift the hips again, and now roll to the inner arm, curve your body out and down along the mat. When you release, we'll come up to sitting for spine twist. So you can pull a leg in, rock forward and up, slide the legs forward and the hips back. Double check that you're where you can extend the arms and have free movement. Push down with the arms, lift up with the chest. Again, here's where you might want to elevate your hips if you can't sit vertically. And we'll rotate to the right, pulsing 1, 2, 3, lift to center and then to the left. Twists from your waistline. So the arms are carried by the movement of The shoulder blades moving over the rib cage, not by the movement of the hands trying to draw big sweeping arcs in the air. So think of the arms being carried by the movement here from your core. Bring it out and lift to center. Your feet should be perfectly still, showing that you're not circling and shifting the hip forward like that. We don't want to really do that. We're going to hold the pelvis steady and pulse to one side. 3 beats, back to center, and then 3 beats to the other side. Come back to center and lower the legs down. Now for jackknife. So if you're still learning this, you can always elevate your hips on a roller, on a yoga block, on a yoga bolster, cushions, anything you've got. But in any case, you're going to hold on to whatever's underneath you or press into the ground, pull your knees into your chest, lift the legs up to the ceiling, and then they go away from you a bit. Press with the arms, start to inhale to lift the legs, exhale to bring the legs overhead. Think of lifting up through the tail. So you're getting some length here in the waistline. And then you'll start to roll back down. So lower the feet, work for a little more stretch in the back line of your legs, press into the arms, roll your spine down. In a way, it gives it a massage. And you can bring the legs forward. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. So I can do the pike up with the legs. So after you know that you can do that with the legs going over low, then what you do, you lift the legs up towards the ceiling, bring them up as high as you can, and then bring them back down. And now roll your spine out. That's the next phase in the exercise. And then once you can do that, you can start working to not go over low, but to just take the legs up and higher. And then coming down. So looking up and back. Remember, never turn your head to the side when you are doing a hip elevation like this. These shoulder stands are also not recommended for anyone with osteoporosis. Resist going down by really pressing into the arms and working slowly, releasing the abdominals and the psoas in turn to work eccentrically on the way down. We'll do one more. Push down, lift up at whichever version you're doing. The legs zipper together. Keep reaching up with the feet even as you pull down. So try to delay your descent by finding that oppositional reach through your legs. And then we can lower the legs down and turn over onto your side to face the camera for side kicks. So the legs are forward, maybe at a 30 to 40 degrees away from your spine. Most advanced is both hands behind the head. At the intermediate level, it's most commonly hand in front of the chest. So pick up your top leg, flexing the foot, reach the head out long, and look straight ahead. Flex the foot forward, pulse 1, 2. Point, take it back, pulse 1 and 2. Double beat forward and double beat back. Usually we do 3 to 5 in each of these exercises in the Psychic series. So come back to center, rotate the leg externally, point to lift the leg up, and flex to pull it down. Point and it rises, flex and it closes. One more, point to lift, and flex to bring it down. Now reverse, flexing up, point and stretch it away. Flex, lift, hold that arc in the air, and then retrace it going further out. One more. Once we're down, développé. Bend the knee, slide the foot in, pull the knee to the shoulder, extend the leg up, flex, and reach it out and close the leg. Point, slide, lift, extend, flex, and press. One more. It's really common for people to let their hip fall back here. Try to keep the hips stacked while you do this. Now reverse, flex the foot, lift up, point the foot, bend the knee. Toe touches down, you slide it down the bottom leg, reach it longer through the heel and lift up. Point, bend, and exhale, breathe it out. Long exhale all the way down. One more. Point and bend, and then slide it forward. Rond de jambe. Inhale forward, exhale up, around, back, and then through center. Circling again. And one last time. Good. While you do this, we're reversing, by the way, try not to move your torso away from the movement of your leg. So you don't want to lean forward just because the leg is going back. That would give you more of like a one-legged plank instead of a feeling of hip release here through that top leg. And now we'll go into figure 4. Bringing the top foot forward of your opposite thigh and lift the bottom leg up and then press it down. We bring it up, we lower it. Inner thigh does the work to lift it and also the work releasing it down. Now lift here, reach out, and you circle the leg around and up 1 and 2, and now 3. Bring it up, stretch it higher, and reverse your circles. 1 and 2 and 3. Lift it, lower it down, extend the top leg, take the arms out. Eventually, the hands are together, extended forward over your head. You could do this with one hand down, which is easier. And swing the legs back a little so the legs are like 15 degrees from your spine. Pick up your top leg, bring the bottom leg up, and bring the bottom leg down. We lift and then lower. We lift and then lower. We lift and hold. Now the top leg rises and sinks. The bottom leg still off the mat. Top leg up and down. 1 more. Now both legs up and both legs down. Work from your bottom leg. Push the top leg away from you. It helps to push your bottom arm into the ground a little bit while you're lifting the leg. You'll definitely feel this in your obliques as well. Onto your stomach. Overlap the hands. And we lift the legs and turn out and clap. Grasshopper. Shoulders are still relaxed. Actively moving the legs from the upper thighs, not the heels. The heels will clap and rebound. And then legs down, hands at your chest. Pull up and back into your child's pose. Stack your spine bottom to top. We're going to flip around to do the other side. Set yourself up again. Watch to be sure that you're not going to kick anything here. Not your furniture, not your pets, none of that. So advanced arm position, intermediate arm position, pick up your top leg, flex the top foot and the bottom one, but the top leg swings forward, pulse 1, 2, reach out through the tail of the sits bone, point and take it back, pulse 1 and 2. Flex to bring it forward. Keep that foot the same height off the ground. Often you'll feel like the leg wants to drop. You have to keep it lifted by working through this upper outer hip. And let's just do one more. Check the height of the leg, try to keep it the same no matter where it is in the sweep. Come back to center and lower, rotate, point lifted high, up and down, and then flex and bring it down. So we lift it, and then flex and reach it out and long. The waist stays long here, even while you move. Now flex to go up, and point to stretch down. Flex and lift, point and lengthen it away. 1 more. Flexing up and point, stretch it down, développé. Bring this in, knee to shoulder, lift the foot, flex, press it out and down, and then you pull it in. Meanwhile, the hand that's in front of you, if it's on the mat, be sure that you have the whole hand pressing into the ground and you're not up on your fingertips. That could be really bad for your joints and your fingers. Let's reverse. Flex to go up, point, bend, and then swipe the leg forward and down, reach it long, flex to lift, point and bend, and exhale, glide it forward, reach out 1 more time, and take it long for rond de jambe. So show the correct position of the hands, pressing the whole hand into the floor. Another option would be your fist. But we're circling rond de jambe. Bring it forward, up, back, around, reach it back. Try to pull your head away from your shoulder, away from your leg. Don't let the torso rock back and forth. Try to stay right on your side seam. That's the work. Anyone can just throw their legs in the air and move their body. However, holding it still and then moving something else is one of the points of training your body here for Pilates. We learn how to stabilize one part of the body and mobilize the other and bring the strength from the center. Let's do for one last one. And then we'll bring the leg up in your figure 4 position for the bottom leg to lift. It goes high and then exhale, bring down. So we lift and exhale to lower. And then lift the leg, hold it up and circle around it up 1 and 2 and 3. Lift and reverse, circling 1 and 2 and then 3. Lift it here and lower it down. Stretch yourself out along the floor on your side. Right, you could keep the hand in front of your chest or more advanced, take it overhead, press the hands into each other and the legs swing back a little, about halfway towards your spine. So let's bring the top leg up and bring the bottom leg up and then the bottom leg down. Lift the bottom leg and pull it to the floor. Lift it here and bring it down. Lift and hold it up. Now the top leg rises and then lowers. Lift and bring that down. Bottom leg stays off the ground. Top leg up and down. Now the bottom leg lifts the top and brings it to the floor. Lifts it again. Definitely oblique work here. One more. And down. And I think I didn't do the little walks on the other side. We're just going to go onto your back here for teaser. All right. So easiest way to do this, you can start by pulling the knees into your chest, legs together, hands to the back of the legs, and then come up to your upper up curl, push the legs forward, and you can come right up into a lovely teaser position. Extend the arms, take your hands to your thighs, slowly lift the tail and start rolling back. And as you go back, you fold the knees in, but they go slowly so that you don't just fall into the ground, but you work your way down with a little resistance of the weight of the legs. They gradually pull in towards your chest. Just try that one again. So lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Start lifting up, extend the legs, and you just rock forward. The legs extend here to help you rise. Take the arms up, and you can bring them down. We're going to actually stay here and do some variations. So we're going to lift the arms up if you want, or hold them to your legs, and then open the legs and close. Open and close. If it's too much for your back, tuck a little more, but also you could fold the knees in towards your chest, right? So it'd be less load. So you could do a bent knee, open and shut like that. And now we're going to take your hands to your legs, curl your tail up, start to roll back, pull the knees in slowly after you. And then let's go up and we'll add some rotation here through the spine. So same deal, you can lift, extend the legs, rock forward and up, take the arms out. Imagine holding a ball here between the arms, squeeze it from your armpits. Take that ball over to the right and then back to center, and then over to the left and back to center. Spiraling here. Again, if the length of your legs is too much, fold the knees in closer to your body. Keep that balance on your sacrum. Keep the tuck of the belly sinking down and in. Sometimes we talk about having a bowling ball resting like below the navel, and you try to wrap your body around that. And then hands to your legs, and we curl the tail and roll it all the way back to the ground again. So let's roll forward and up for hip circles. So we're going back on the elbows. Pull the tail forward a bit and then pull it back. So you sort of are tugging here onto the top of the sacrum to drop the belly deep and feel a semicircle curve here through your low back. So you're tractioning the low back here. You want to push down into the arms and then pull the knees in, extend the legs up to the ceiling. So I'm not collapsing into my shoulders. I'm keeping my head lifted and pushing down into the arms. Now we circle. Inhale to the right, exhale around to the left, bring the legs up to the top again, and then go left, circling to the right. This is an advance on the corkscrew exercise we did earlier, where you're basically doing the same thing, but with the shoulders and the head on the ground. And one last one, going from left to right. Fold the knees in, stretch your legs out, flip over onto your stomach. Swimming comes next. We just extend the arms forward, float the head off the ground, pull back with the arms to lift your chest up and start kicking your legs. Then you can add one arm lower lift. And then if you want, you can take both arms up at the same time and pump the arms and the legs simultaneously. Any of those variations counts as long as you feel like you're working. And then we'll take the hands by your side, lift up, sit back in your child's pose, round your back, curve it. Stack your spine bottom to top. We'll turn around here for seal. So knees are bent in a frog. Take your hands between your legs, wrap your hands around the shins below the calves, and then lift your tail to roll back like so. Arms press into your legs. We're going to open and close the legs to clap. 1 and 2 and 3. Inhale to lift your tail, roll your shoulders. In the air, clap 1 to 3 times, and then clap 3 times at the end as you exhale. It's always an inhale to go back and clap, and an exhale to come forward and clap. Rock back like so, and forward here again. Be sure your spine is comfortable, that you have enough padding under it for any of these rolling exercises. And your gaze stays tucked down in towards your belly, so you never slam your head into the ground. That's a rookie mistake you only make once. You try to avoid it at all. Okay, so from here, let's just go into one of the side planks. We'll practice it either on your forearm or also onto a straight arm. So I'll demo both. For Pilates, typically we learn this with the top leg placed in front of the bottom one, so the heel is into the base of the toes. On the bottom leg, the top leg's heel goes into the toes of the bottom leg. And then you may start with the elbow just slightly in front of the shoulder. You can press down with a fist or your hand, push down through your feet and your arm to lift up. And then you can hold it with the hand down, or if you want, you can lift the arm up and look up at the hand to find that side plank like this. Just hold it for as long as you can. Lower carefully. I'm going to demo the other version. You can try it if you want. Not recommended for someone with wrist issues. If your wrist is just tight, you may want to elevate the heel of the hand for this. You spread the palm open, and we'll start. The legs are pretty long here for the side plank. Look at your top hand, or you can push off the ground again. But you're going to push up and over, bring the shoulder over the hand, reach the arm out. Your body should be long. So try to keep your head in line with your spine in line with the length of your legs, and the arms reaching away from each other. Push the ground down and bring the other arm up high. And then we can bend the knees, lower down. Just time to do the other side, and then I'll let you go and get on with your day. So again, we're going to start here, if you wish, on the forearm. And the legs reach out long, squeeze the legs together. Remember, you don't want to put all the work into your arms. So we're going to push down with the feet as well, and then feel the lift through the hand. Try to touch the ceiling, and that will help you lift. Also, really actively pushing down with the forearm into the floor gives you more support here, like underneath the side of your rib cage where your serratus is, connecting to your oblique abdominals. And then we can lower. And just one more try. If you want to try it with a straight arm, if you haven't already, this is great. Just watch that you're really pushing down here so the shoulder isn't hiked up by your ear when you start. You want to feel a lot of good involvement of the muscles around the shoulder joint here. And we get ready, get set, and then lift. Also, it's important that you not have slippery feet on your mat, right? So if you're in socks, if they don't have grippies on them, you might want to just go barefoot. And sometimes even if you're wearing the socks with the grippies, your feet will slip inside the socks. So you just want to be sure that you have a nice firm support here through the edges of your feet. You're also putting weight into them as you lift away from it. And then we're going to lower down because that is the end of our class for today. Thanks so much for joining me. And